Snappers. What's up, everybody? It's your boy here to give you guys a review for Luke Cage Season 2, Episode 3, Wig Out. So, kind of pick up where we left off with Luke, I guess we could say at the crime scene now. And Claire shows up. She's concerned because, like I said, he has a concussion, probably some broken ribs. They had to take him to a hospital. Her fear is that if he dies, obviously they don't have anybody that they can use to link shit back to Mariah. So she's concerned about that. Misty's there. So Claire called Misty for him, the ambulance for Cockroach. And there's a power struggle between Luke and Misty because his whole thing is like, if y'all was doing y'all job, I wouldn't have to fucking be here. And she pretty much just like, hurry up and leave before I change my fucking mind. Then you have Bush. Man's like, oh, wakes up with 2 pieces of chocolate in the bed, ain't mad at him. Let me see. One thing that he mentioned on the previous episode that I forgot to talk about is he had said to one of his relatives when he went to the restaurant that Mariah has the crown, Luke has the people's heart. I need both. And he goes back to say to a gentleman that I guess is a part of his crew now, the same exact thing, and then you know what, he's gonna go ahead and give the money to Mariah. And old boy's like, why would you do that? He's like, I need her fat and nice before I kill her. I'm like, wow, well, all right. You have Tilda and Mariah. Tilda's playing on the piano that used to belong to Cornell. They start to talk about family, and she starts to revisit some of the darkness, and Mariah is just like, well, you can't tell me that no fat, like, show me a family that doesn't have any dark corners. Then Shade pops up and is staring. She pulls him off to the side. It's like, you can't keep popping up unannounced. He's like, since when? And then she tells him that, you know, she wants to keep her daughter out of the family business. He's like, okay, so I'm not family now. So you can tell that he's starting to feel a kind of way. And she pretty much said, like, okay, you know what, just go. And then he also mentions how Cockroach is in the hospital, so they only have the Yardies left. So she tells him, you know what, go to, I think he's going to Bronx. Go fuck on young. Made the deal, and he's like, I'm not your fucking yes man. Okay, I'm supposed to be your partner and other things. And she's just like, I know this is not the time to be finna sit here and talk about each other's feelings. Straight play his ass to the left. I do want to say this because I get a feeling, because I don't think that Tilda knows who Shade is to Mariah. Why do I get a feeling that either A, he gonna kill Tilda, or B, he gonna make a move on Tilda and have Tilda take Mariah's spot and possibly do off with her? Why do I get the feeling? Y'all let me know if y'all feel the same thing. It could just be me. It could just be me. Misty's in the hospital with Cockroach trying to get him to talk. And his whole thing is, look, I want my lawyer. And, you know, he even made a comment that, you know, she's not half the cop that Scarf will be, and you actually like one of them bitches that like to be, you know, roughed up when no one's looking. She goes to rush him, and then Nandy, you know, has something to say. So it's Nandy and I think Rayleigh. And Nandy is just like, you know, this is not your case, this is our case, which I'm trying to figure out, like, how is that every fucking case belongs to them? I don't fucking know, don't really care. But she pretty much just like, for this to be your case, you're surely trailing me, and this is your fucking case. So you have Luke sleeping on the couch back at Pop Shop. Bobby comes in, they talk, he's like, look like you a doghouse, bro. Whatever it is, just say you wrong. Women like to hear that shit, and even if she wrong, you just say you wrong, you know, and you shouldn't say no unless it warrants it. He was like, well, I don't agree. Sometimes you can tell her no. Claire's at the door, she's like, well, I disagree. And she pretty much sounded like all of this is unfair. So they start to have their exchange. His whole thing is, well, you call the cops on me. And she was like, no, I call the ambulance for Cockroach. I call Misty for you. And my whole thing is the whole entire time that, you know, she mad because she's mad he didn't come home last night. And Tony Braxton's Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night played in my head. People who do Luke Cage, if y'all watching this, y'all need me as a consultant, because that would have been the perfect song, you know. I'm trying to help y'all out. Okay, it's already good. I'm just trying to make it, more better, more greater. So they have their little phone down and shit, and they're why do I feel like something just happened? I missed it. I swear, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what happened. So, Misty is being talked to by, I guess, her captain. I guess that's the role that he is. And his whole thing is because you are the private Ryan of this, can't nobody fucking touch you. Because if it was at my pay grade, I would sideline your ass right now. And she feels a fucking way, especially because he's like, you let a perpetrator go without authorization. You're investigating without an authorization, like you're doing too much. And I will admit she's doing a bit much, but hey, she out here trying to get shit done. So yeah. Y'all know it's summertime. Get y'all some water. Get y'all some hydration. But I got like so enthralled in the episode that I was just writing stuff down instead of like hitting the record button. So if I miss anything or if I can't recall anything, please forgive me. So let me see. You have Luke looking for Nigel at the restaurant, and the young lady who is addressed as Auntie, so I guess the older lady, she does not know the name, isn't familiar with that, hasn't been in a while, so she directs him to four gentlemen sitting at a table. They pretty much just like, maybe, because they're older, so I'm assuming they're older than her, and they're just giving him the runaround and whatnot, and then you can clearly see this one gentleman. Um, it's like a table by the window, gets up and just kind of like hurries up and like scatters away, and he's on the phone, and I'm pretty sure Luke saw this, so Luke is trailing him, so I'm actually going to jump ahead just to kind of wrap this part up. Follows him and then plays it off like he walked away. Oh boy goes a different way, so Luke is following him, finds him at a warehouse. This warehouse has Bushmaster there, and Bushmaster pretty much is like, look, man, because every time somebody says Mariah Dillard, he's like, no, Mariah Stokes. So he's overly fascinated with Mariah, overly fascinated. Y'all need to see him. Get that out the way. But overly fascinated with that. He keeps saying Mariah Stokes. He's like, look, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And they start having this competition. He's like, look, Harlem is not your birthright, brother. It's mine. And Luke is like, this is mine. Possession is nonsense of the law. This is my yard. Stay out of it. So his whole thing is you can't talk about yard to a yardie. So then a fight breaks out, not necessarily between Bushmaster and Luke, but between some of the minions. The minions get their ass with Luke's walk. He walks out. And you can see a scene, and you clearly saw someone recording it. So I was saying, like, okay, are they recording it so they can post it on social media, him getting his ass whooped? But no, he was actually watching this as he was doing up another concoction of what is it, Nightshade? Because I wrote it down one time. Nightshade, Nightfire, Dusk of Dawn. Yeah, Nightshade. He was mixing that up. Has, a circle of candles. And I guess he's, trying to conjure up and build up enough to sit here and take that on. So he's watching him and doing some form of martial arts and whatnot. I guess really just trying to build up his strength. But I really do think that the more time he does it, I really think it's probably going to end up being his demise. We'll see. So come back to that. We'll see. Claire goes to meet with the Reverend to talk about her problems with Luke, but calls him Luther. And he's like, okay, well, since you're trying to help him find his, dreams and his goals, what are yours? And he's like, you can't help somebody find theirs until you know what yours are. You can't sit here and help somebody that's drowning if you don't already have your life vest on. And pretty much just told her, dig deep down within your heart and you will find the answers there. So Mariah's having her a little bit, and she has her daughter there. And we get introduced to Alex, who's her assistant. I'm pretty sure we was introduced to him last season, and that's just it. I'm not sure if he really plays an integral part. We'll see if anything ever comes to that. She gives a speech and talks about, and she's talking about, this complex house where, single. I don't think it's just for single mothers, but there'll be like a daycare down there and whatnot to kind of better help single mothers out, trying to push the whole "we are family" narrative, and mention how she met this guy. I think it was like 8 years her senior, last name Dillard. He worked in medicine and whatnot. He went to, I think, Central America. When she found out that she was pregnant, he was killed, so she couldn't bear it alone. So she went back home to Mother Mabel, and Mabel helped her raise her daughter in spite of everything and just a whole family first, because she knew that she would not be able to raise that chocolate drop by herself. And you can see that that was, I guess, making Tilda feel a bit of way, just like wow, and she even put Tilda on the spot. I was initially thinking like, okay, maybe Tilda see the shit for what it is. Not saying that Mariah doesn't want that relationship with her daughter, but it's something else to it. Misty is with a friend. They're boxing. I'm pretty sure she's a cop. I forgot to write her name down. But Mariah's in a not Mariah. Misty's in a bad place because she can't get certain shit out of her head. Things are constantly like playing and playing and replaying. She feels hopeless, especially not having part of her right arm, and she's a right-handed person, so she feels like she's lost herself. And part of that, I guess, is connected to her ability to see shit, so she feels like she can't see anything. And the friends is like you need to pick yourself back up. So they end up going to a bar to have a drink. You have one guy trying to hit on both of them, and the other girl believes she is Asian American, but she's just like, nah, we don't want you. Like, nah, I like the sisters anyway. And Missy turns around to address him, and she's like, yeah, just get the fuck out of here. And he sees her face, like, oh, you the one that got my fam locked up and whatnot. Then he called her a bitch and shit. And she was like, this is the second time today I've been called a bitch. It's gonna be the last. So she begins to fight him. So she gives him a left hook. She goes to give him a right hook and realize, like, fuck, I don't have an arm. So he slaps the shit out of her. And she looks up at her friend. Her friend's giving her like, oh, you better fucking fight. So she started handling herself, taking him out. One guy, gave his ass a blues, so he falls on the bar, grabs a fucking, beer bottle, breaks it. At this point, the friend is like, all right, hold the fuck on. So she gets involved, they whoop ass, they walk on out. So I think this has helped build Misty's confidence back up. Let's see. We're back at Mariah's bar, and you have Mark, who is the president of the all-black plastic company. And he's congratulating her, and the one guy, and I think when I said in the last review where Billy was, all hugged up on one individual, one guy, this was the guy actually, Mark. So he's congratulating her, and she's just like, okay, well, I need, more from me. He's like, what money? So Billy comes in, drops an envelope on the table, or actually a folder. He opens it up to see some pictures, and she's like, yeah, I like the third way. Like, you a real freak. So extortion and blackmail. He's like, so what do you need? Money? She's like, no, I don't need money. I forget what she said, but a long story short, she is going to spend 20 mil to buy stock in this other company that is wanting to buy out his company. So what she needs for him to do is sell his company, vote for the merger, supporting her, and then retire. And he reluctantly walks away. Tilda comes in. Tilda says that pretty much she's come around, and it wasn't until she heard her mother's version of events that now she understands her mother's point of view. Then Shay walk in with the bags. I forgot to mention that Shay, if I didn't already say so, Shay's met up with Bush, got the money, and in one of the bags was Nigel's head. So obviously that money didn't make it. Well, that head didn't make it. And he even told her that they paid way more than what was initially agreed upon. So, and we see, we find out that Billy is related to the Yardie. And she goes back and tells them, okay, well, this is what, they're planning on doing. She asks, like, okay, well, can I stop now? He's like, not yet, but soon, and when you're done, you'll get everything that you wanted. So I'm not sure if she's necessarily related or if she's just hired help. Let me see. Claire lectures Luke and tells him that, you know, he needs to stop scaring people. And he starts to tell her, like, I'm black man that wears a fucking hoodie. I scare people. Do you know how it is to walk around a Caucasian woman and they clutch their fucking purse, or to be followed around in a store? She says that she has dealt with that type of racism, not necessarily on the outside, but on the inside, to where her family is divided. So I'm guessing she's probably talking about colorism. But she says that she understands that. And he says that he used his anger and intimidation to get shit done. So for him, it's almost like a win-win. And, you know, she says that, okay, well, I talked, and she even says, like, you're blaming people. You're blaming your father. You're blaming me. You're blaming Pops. And he's like, don't bring my father into this. She's like, well, I met with him, so now he gets mad. And she's like, he's not the ogre that you are making him out to be. You are actually the ogre. And she's like, this whole situation is like a cockroach. Okay, sometimes you got to kill a cockroach, but when you take pleasure in the killing of the cockroach, and that's how she's trying to equate him. Like, it's one thing to do a job, but it seems like you're starting to lose yourself in it, and you're starting to take pleasure in some of this shit. He gets so fucking mad that he just like drills several holes into the fucking wall. And she begins to tear. She's like, you know what? I need the ocean. I need my own time. I need my own space. And he sees that she's serious. And she tells him that hole in the wall was my mother and my father. I grew up with this type of anger, and I said to myself, I would never be in this place again. He tries to plead his case, and she's just like, go ahead, go ahead. And he pretty much is like, okay, well, can we talk tomorrow? And we end with him walking with his headphones in, and he get a motherfucking front kick to the face. And then you have Bushmaster leans over to and pretty much says, like, you said not to be in your yard, but fuck it, here I am. And that's where the episode went off. So yeah, started picked up. I don't think I missed anything, but I'm gonna try to, you know, do the click, 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 click more. I would ask y'all to really, you don't want to focus. There it is. I would ask y'all, like, let me know how y'all feel about me doing that. But by the time many of y'all see it, I will probably either be almost done with the series or done with it. So yeah. But that's it. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you guys back for the next episode.